has the least access to the computer? Answer! I will tempt you. Who responded first? So you are a coward! You cannot succeed! You do not deserve the glory of death! I offer you the chance to save your pitiful life. I am launching a shuttle. You may go aboard immediately and leave this ship. Or do you accept? Respond! Have you left the ship? If you abandon the others to save yourself, you have dishonored the Federation. Ha! But you will live! Answer me, weakling. Experience beige! Ah! Gah! Answer me! Experience beige. Malfunction. It will not matter. Time is running out, humans. Nev! Who is moving now? Answer! Take the challenge of the Klingon sword to determine your destiny. So well, respond! As leader, you will experience beige. This computer has more low-level bugs than Antares 3. Ah! You have won a minor victory in this contest, humans. The computer just deleted security level 5. Computer, red alert! I still control navigation and weapon systems, but you can now reach the bridge with only 4 isolinear chips. crew member closest to the security room is placed in a stasis field. We have arrived at the Klingon homeworld. All computer access codes are now deleted. Your isolinear chips are useless. The bridge is secure from your childish attempts. You have lost. Computer, slow to 1/3 impulse. It seems our movements have been detected, and we are being hailed in true Klingon fashion. Computer shields up! Prepare all weapon systems. Attack pattern, 835. Fire! Shields have failed, but the glory has just begun. Fire! Computer, damage report!
There's nothing on the view screen, Captain. Okay, let's... Hello, hello! Oh my gosh, my layout is all over the place. Hello, everybody! We are here. Some of us are here. Some of us are having technical issues. This is a fun start. We are getting just static from Shy, who has departed. How are you, gentlemen? Anyway, joining me, even though you can't quite see them on the screen, but you will very soon. We have Genos. Hi, Genos. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Having coffee. Ready.
Nice. We have Cranky. How's Cranks?
Hey, hey.
We have...
All good here.
Hey, we have the ghost of Frank, who will be here. He promises. And it's Shyporn, who is desperately trying to connect, to I believe having some problems right now. There we go. That works. I haven't used this layout before for Trek, so I was frantically trying to get it sorted out. But yeah, we're here to watch some Trek. We're going to watch some Star Trek, and you guys are going to hopefully come and watch it with us. Have you guys caught up on Prodigy yet? Have you?
I am on episode 10, I think, of Prodigy.
okay.
9 or 10
Yeah,
of season 2. Yeah, and it's good.
it is real good.
I finished it.
Yeah, how did you find it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a fun ride. I try not to take it too seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got all the timey-wimey stuff, which is fun, and it's cool seeing Ronnie Cox
Yes, yeah, very
back
good.
as Jelly. But yeah,
I think the last episode I watched, it was like a 2-parter with Wesley. I won't give any spoilers or anything, but Wesley, that's good. I like that.
I think we're a little bit beyond because I was at some point I want to do a Prodigy talk, but Star's not watched it yet. I know some people are only halfway through still, so I'm a bit like, maybe we'll put that one off. We'll defer that to just like a chat at some point. But I wanted to just splurge about the season and go like, it's so good. I need to rewatch. Actually, I want to rewatch it with the kids because they've started to express interest in watching things with me specifically. Like, what are you watching? Well, I'm watching some Dragon Ball. Can I come and watch that with you? Yes, of course.
Aww. They have some affection for you.
Yeah, I want to remember where they are. Right. Hang on, sorry, I have to keep switching. There we go. Frank is on his way back from the store, I believe. He'll be back soon. But today we are watching Enterprises Breaking the Ice. Which is the It's a Poop Question, Sir episode. Hey, Overtide, how you doing? And we're going to watch a little bit later. We're going to watch Hide and Q, a bit of TNG. Going through the list. It was supposed to be Stars this evening, but he couldn't make it sadly tonight. We were going to go very serious and watch The Wounded and the duet, but he sadly couldn't make it this evening. So I thought we'll go back to the run. I mean to ask you guys, is next time we do this, Genos, Cranky, next time we do this with you guys, I want to ask you, what episodes would you like to cover? Is there any particular episode you want to go through and go actually, I really like to talk about this?
When you first started doing the Treks, I came on and did one, and I think I did.
You did
I did the Voyager episode. I think is Blink of an Eye.
Yeah, that's right.
It
was quite favourable.
That was my choice for that particular Trek. But yeah, there's plenty of others that I mean, any Star Trek episode, basically.
I just like it all. How about you, James?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with just kind of going in order the way that you have been. I like seeing, kind of how they find their footings, and eventually you'll get out of season 1 and into season 2 of these shows, and be like, all right, well, we're not going to rate.
I think we're about halfway now.
We're not going to rate this one -3 out of 10 this time. Maybe it's not going to be a problematic one.
We opened the floodgates of scoring with Stars as -9 or whatever he gave Justice or whatever it was.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah, and there's when we did the Twilight Zone ones, auto giving the last episode 9,347,000. Okay, we're just really going to mess with my spreadsheets now, aren't you? Just messing my average up.
Spreadsheet.
I know, they're great. Let's start with a trailer. How do you fancy a trailer for an episode? Because very thanks to Trek Core. If you've not ever seen Trek Core, it's a great resource online. They also have a YouTube page which they are now updating with all the old trailers for old Star Trek, including Enterprise episodes as well. So they've now almost finished uploading all the Enterprise stuff. So I'm going to play you the trailer, guys, for Enterprises Breaking the Ice. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Let's see if is he on? Are you with us, Shy? Are you here? Oh, haha!
There he is.
Sorry.
In all his handsome glory.
Having technical difficulties. I love that picture behind you. That's wild.
Yeah, this is by an artist named Matt Ciso, who's a untrained, outsider artist who actually had his arm cut off by a crashed prop airplane.
Oh wow!
Kid. So he can only paint non-dominant.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's
wow,
pretty great.
That's pretty fun. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. Just enjoying a Sunday at home with the family, but everyone's out post brunch, like food coma. So I have a little time to like watch some Star Trek with the boys.
Yeah. You know you like it.
How's the sound here? I can't.
You're a little quiet, but it's okay.
A little bit quiet.
Yeah.
I'll move.
You just have to enunciate more. You need to reach the back of the house.
To project.
Yes.
Test. Or something.
Oh. Give it a little more.
Is it getting louder?
It's getting softer, actually.
Okay. I never know which direction this gain volume mic is. Any better?
That's better. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Cool. Frank will be with us. So, we're watching Enterprise's Breaking the Ice and TNG's Hide and Q today.
Okay.
And that's where you're just like, actually, I've got things to do, like a brunch coma. But I was just about to play the trailer for Breaking the Ice, so let's do that and we can do pre-ratings. So enjoy a piece of 90s exciting advertisement.
Take us closer, Ensign.
Out of direct sunlight, the surface ice will be more stable.
You up for a little comet walk?
What's that?
An all-new Enterprise.
Oh, yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hyped are you for this episode and how much do you remember? Let's do pre-ratings.
Pre-ratings.
Go on, Cranky. What do you remember about Breaking the Ice?
Me?
Yes.
I remember, if this is the episode I think it is, I remember Malcolm getting a spike through the leg. Is that this episode?
No, I think that was Minefield. Oh, no, he has some sort of accident.
Then I don't remember this episode.
It does involve Malcolm in an EV suit, though, so you're halfway there.
No, I can't remember this one then. I thought it was the one where he gets the spike through the leg.
How about you, Shai?
That's the first encounter with the Romulans, right? Where
yes,
they
that is, yeah.
Kind of the Romulan minefield.
The Romulans.
I mean, this trailer is kind of dull, right? They're just going for a spacewalk on an ice asteroid or planet, like, and the voiceover guy's doing his hardest. He's got the trailer voice going, going to 11
in a world.
Yes,
yeah, where there's ice
and a snowman.
One man, Malcolm Reed.
Yeah, the fact that I remember very little about this episode, or nothing about this episode, I'm going to go with 5 just to hedge my bets.
Good 5.
Yeah.
General.
I remember maybe a little more than my esteemed co-panelists. I think this is the one with the Vulcan snowman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think an especially dickish Vulcan captain who's just like watching them but doesn't explain anything.
Have you done the rating already? How many dickish Vulcan captains out of 10?
Well, someone has to.
I remember the episode now. You've jogged my memory.
I have. And what was it? They bring him over for dinner, and he just like says like 3 words the whole time, and they're just dripping with dickish energy. Yeah, I'll give it like a. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5, or no, 5.5 because 5 I think is average, and the fact that I remember a season 1 episode of Enterprise at all, the plot points, that means it's slightly above average. Because there's episodes I don't really remember about season 1 of Enterprise.
I think this one
was... Did they show that in the trailer? Did they show the Vulcans?
No.
Like any sort of aliens in the trailer?
Paul was there. She's a in from season 1.
I mean, other than to Paul, like... Yeah, it kind of failed as a Star Trek trailer. It didn't show any like exciting aliens or really strange
brave new
worlds.
comets.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the trailer would have benefited from seeing the Vulcan starships. Those are really cool designs. I think that would have been really cool seeing the Vulcan starship in the trailer.
Called,
yeah. Was this?
I'm giving the trailer a 2 out of
10. Yeah. Was this like? Were we actually trying to fly a probe into like the tail of a comet around
Something
this time,
like
in the early 2000s? Is that like what this episode kind of came?
Yeah, I think we were. I think this is sort of very much related to something that was happening at the time. Yeah, there was definitely some comet explorations happening because we didn't land on one until much later. I say we, like, you know, we're a part of NASA, but
well, humanity.
Us four people, yeah.
Us people. What do you mean, us people? Okay. Janice, what's your pre-rating on this one?
5.5.
5.5. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't give you my pre-rating.
Go on.
My pre-rating is going to be a 6.
It's gonna be a
because
6.
I remember some good grappling action, some good grappling.
Grapplers are so cool.
Hey, here's a Frank.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank.
Is this the wrestling show?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. We're just about to lay the smackdown on T'Pol.
Because I've got the old arcade
Mayweather
superstars
versus
ready to go
Reed.
right here. So
Nice. We were just about to start the episode. Frank, do you remember the episode Breaking the Ice?
I've never watched Star Trek before.
See, it's the funny thing with Frank is I'm not sure if he's being serious or not.
I do. What's it called? Breaking the Ice.
Breaking the Ice. Yeah. I'll play the. Hang on. I'll play the trailer again.
Might as well. It's only
He
like
was so
10
excited
seconds
the first
long.
time.
Breaking the Ice.
Here you go, Frank. Watch this scintillating action.
In a war.
Take us closer, Ensign.
Out of direct sunlight, the surface ice will be more stable.
You up for a little comet walk?
Explosions.
An all-new
They should have called the episode 2 Men, 1 Comet.
I think that vastly predates it, but yeah. So there we go, Frank.
Yeah.
Your pre-rating on this scintillating, hard-hitting episode of Enterprise.
I hated the movie Armageddon, so 3.
Awesome. Okay, let's.
What about Deep Impact?
Armageddon's great. I'm increasing to 6 now.
Okay, let's start this episode. So, spool up, if you haven't already after that diatribe, spool up your Paramount Pluses, your DVD players, your bootleg laser discs. Grab them in. We are going to be starting in. Hang on, I've just got to find my time code layer. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch it.
How did they mail art subspace?
That's a good point. That's a very good. Unless they just printed it out. But then
They
why
printed
would they
it
if they've got
out.
pads?
They scanned the PDF, emailed it,
Yeah.
and printed it on board.
But it does make it look like they just drew it and sent it to them, doesn't it?
They have a crayon jet printer.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We've seen those in all the time. Look at Mayweather. He's just like, oh my god. He doesn't deny it. It's like, yeah, this is my comment.
You knew I was going to line early in this episode.
Sorry, say that again, Genos. Oh, here we go.
I'd like to
muting it?
preemptively lower my rating to 2.
Oh man, I love this tune.
It's a terrible comet design.
It kind of doesn't make sense because comets generally do have like a common center of gravity. To have one that kind of looks like something elongated is a bit more, I don't know, unrealistic. I am not a science man, so I could be completely wrong.
The fact that you call them science men gives that away.
I get most of my science knowledge from Futurama. Phones in the air, everyone. What's your favorite? Okay, for those that like this theme song, what's the worst part about it? For those that don't like it, what's your favorite thing about it?
I'll answer both. The opening chord and the final chord.
I miss that.
The worst
like
part
it.
about it is that it ends.
You can't. There
Yeah,
is a
I
longer
like
cut.
it.
If you go on Spotify, there's a longer cut with a guitar solo.
It's such a
I
great
like the song,
montage.
but I dislike the amount of cheese they've managed to put into it.
Yeah.
It is
That's a
super
cool looking
cheesy.
ship. Not gonna lie, it's a cool looking ship.
I'm convinced that what's his name stole this for the Martian montage.
I've still not watched The Martian. I need to watch that.
Really? That's a good film.
Oh,
I know.
Martian's great.
You're telling me in the beginning of intergalactic travel, they've never come close to a comet?
I mean, we've done it several times.
If you listen to the news outlets, they'll tell you that comets come close to Earth very
We've seen
regularly.
comets before, but this one is big.
Yeah, this is a big.
Yeah, this one's bigger.
Oh, to Paul's quarters. I don't think we've seen this yet, have we?
Have we seen it this early? First
I
time?
think so. Oh, that's my Duolingo class.
Duolingo Vulcan?
Yeah, could you imagine? Oh, they do Klingon.
You can do Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul doing her best unimpressed face.
I like the contrast between Paul just going like no, and then him is just like pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
One needs to be.
You really should put ice cream on that.
Yeah, you definitely need like cream or ice cream, something like that. Oh no, he's having milk.
I reject the idea that Vulcans would even be drinking any tea from Earth. They would be like, Earth tea is inferior to Vulcan.
Maybe she can't get like the proper bend, and this is as close as possible. Maybe.
Good point.
It's Japanese. It's Japanese, so therefore it's okay for Vulcans.
Okay, got it.
He's got that real Southern charm McCoy thing going on here, hasn't he?
He's a perfect gentleman, don't you know?
Of course. Read the room, Trip. Come on. No, I'm stuck in a conversation with you.
She sat down with him.
Do you think they'd still be saying page turner in the 2200s when no
we
one
still
has
say,
the
I don't know, we have quite a few archaic comics like comments like, you know, can't think of it, you know. Skip forward and back or spooling. The save icon is still a floppy disk. We have the CG budget.
Do they?
Do you remember your zero-G trainings, Mr. Wolf? I do.
This reminds me, I really need to start watching the Decon Chamber.
Yes, I haven't watched any of those yet.
No.
He's got a good, like, I'm being a complete prick and you can't stop me.
Yeah. Rest in Vulcan face.
Yeah.
Also, T'Pol needs tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's such a dick. Also, Archer too.
We're getting some Archer pacing and ranting now. Very trademark. Oh, Cranky, do you recognise the comm panel behind T'Pol? We made some of those. Yeah. I gotta find mine. I actually don't know where mine's gone. I took it out and I put it somewhere.
I miss the shuttle pods. I'm watching the first season of Orville right now. Actually, rewatch, and I love that they use shuttle pods.
They are nice. I do like them.
Transporters. I think it's a cool plot point.
I do love the very, and it is a phrase like, yeah, nice, coined by like NASA, or coined by Starfield. It's like NASA punk. That very kind of like, you know, we're gonna keep everything very practical and space-like, but give it a little bit of dramatic flair.
I've actually got the NX refit as well on the shelf.
Oh, you got the refit? Missing the refit.
Yeah, X-Vowel model.
I will probably buy one next convention.
Got the engineering hull. And I'm not going to get it back on the stand now.
The Eagle Moss problems.
It's crash landed on the shelf.
I don't know about you guys, but I like the Enterprise era suits. I think they're cool.
Yeah, they're very realistic.
Yeah, I liked what they were going for. This ice cave, though, on the other hand.
It's a cave. It's a cave episode. I just decrypted it.
Oh, is this where T'Pol gets to? That's why the Vulcan ship's there. They needed to deliver T'Pol's mail. Excuse me.
No.
I mean, technically, they're speaking to her. She's not speaking to them.
Yeah, that's true.
But that finer point is lost on.
I feel like Enterprise, like it wobbles between whether they're like, oh, T'Pol is our best friend, now she's all on the ship, and actually she's working for the enemy. Who knows if she's a secret Vulcan spy? Like they seem to, drop there.
I love this part. I love this scene.
Every now and then, it's Archer goes off on one of those "they held back my father" type rants.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this bit. This is random.
In the middle of everything. Question, sir.
Why? Are they doing a video transmission, or are they doing like a audio one? I'd love if them turn the view screen. There's just a small child there on a Zoom call, like just picking their nose. I've got these Vulcans on my ass. Replicate.
I think a fourth grader's going to ask me about that.
Say that again. When a male crew member and a female crew member really love each other. Usually under a lot of stress and duress.
I like that he pronounces it like it's a strange, exotic name.
Must be evoking feelings, affection.
And she's not holding a tribble, doesn't count. Have you?
Okay.
The Duress sisters. Okay, thank you, Overtired. Here it comes. Ding, ding, ding.
A poop question, sir?
You had that ready, didn't you? This apple, it's made of shit. Archer's so winding him up is great. The only sad thing is they're spending a lot of time on this segment.
If it weren't for this scene, the rest of the crew would have very little to do.
Here, I have an osmotic eel.
I can just imagine him on like children's television. Hello, children.
Yeah, on a Mrs. Doubtfire style show.
I'm here to talk to you about the mating ritual of the osmotic eel.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be rude.
Oh.
Like 10 minutes of Trip talking about how poop gets resequenced. Phlox talks about something interesting and they cut him off.
They know what the kids really want.
Yeah.
If you heard this speech in your school, knowing somewhere and was out in space, like pioneering, like going to the moon, and they came back with this speech, like, how would you feel?
I'd sign up to be a sanitation engineer immediately.
Bakula does a good job of seeming like an awkward public speaker in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever see, what was his name, Chris Redfield? The things he did on the ISS space station, like showing like how people brush their teeth and how, you know, people dry their hair and all the things on that. They were quite good.
Oh, the Canadian astronaut?
That's it. You said that with such derision. Oh, the
Canadian.
The Canadian guy.
Yeah. Nifty Bittens is up in arms over this.
Here it is.
Do you want to build a snowman?
In space.
Oh shit, is this how Frozen started? Is this where they got the inspiration?
Reed is going to use his focus and explosives here.
Oh, come on, Archer. It's a good example of how humanity's better than these stiff Vulcans. Expressing their artistic freedom. Thank you, Hoshi.
They had to find a way to shoehorn her into the plot somehow.
Overtide said, that speech is going to one class, so like 30 kids. Earth's first deep spaceship talking to one class. Not all the fourth graders on the planet, not even one school, a single class. He's got a point there. Do you reckon they're doing that speech like 30 times?
Because it was very, very personal.
That's a terrible argument, Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Your mailbox was locked. I had to break in to read your letters.
You could have just left it on the side. I would have left it alone.
He's letting him take the fall.
Hashtag not my problem. Who's that guy?
He was just wondering if he was talking to him. He's like,
I was going to say, yeah, he walks off. He's like, we're meeting.
Rando.
I don't make mistakes.
close your eyes for those of you old enough. 1989, Batman, Michael Keaton giving the speech, trying to attempt to say who he is in the apartment of Vicky Vale before the Joker busts in.
That would make this episode more exciting.
Yeah.
Who was the Joker around
It's
this
the
era?
same cadence.
Was it still by 2000s? It was just before Heath Ledger, wasn't this? So this is about 4 or 5 years before.
Mm-hmm.
Your handwriting is terrible.
G-Man.
Mm-hmm. I also read your letter. Just the side eye walks away. Not yet. Wait
I
till
love how he has
season
to
3.
keep. I love how he has to keep ducking under the bulkhead every time he's walking.
Yep.
Who designed this?
That's a good point, actually. I'd never noticed that.
Henry Archer, obviously.
He keeps doing it.
Thing is, that's the captain's quarters as well. Imagine when it's like in a general crewman's quarters. They like
I think
hunched
it's just a
over.
ready room, but yeah, and the crew quarters are like 3 to a bunker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look how far that got her. Oh, Craigie! Thank you for subscribing.
I thought it was on the show for a second. I'm like, wait a second, that's the wrong red alert clap.
Read alert. Read alert.
3 to a bunk, you got 3 shifts. That's just efficient, yeah. Suck it, Cerritos. They're taking a long time putting those charges down.
Gotta do it right.
That's true.
They spent more time sculpting the ears
their,
on
like,
the snowman.
visual sensors on the comet and saw the snowman. Enhance. They're gonna blow up the snowman with the charges.
You literally go on away missions every week. You went to a planet like that was.
It's quite romantic the way he said that. We should get out more often.
They never let Mayweather out.
See a movie. You never buy me flowers.
There's no noise in space.
Yeah. Wrong kind of atmosphere. All alone. That's some bad CG. Oof. But it's television and it's 2001, so.
Do explosives work in space?
Don't see why not. You don't need oxygen to ignite, you just need electrical current.
I thought they would have put like spikes in there for walking around on ice.
This is mostly like awkward conversations, the episode, really, isn't it?
Tell him about poop. He'll love it.
Yeah.
Like a moody teenager.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've already eaten.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to trigger Archer. Just give like very curt answers to questions. He's like, no, please, you have to engage.
Angry chewing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't subtitle that.
Yeah.
Do they
And Archer took that personally. Yes, I give away one secret military base and they have the nerve to be curt with me? Jerks.
I wonder why they kept changing T'Pol's eyebrows back and forth.
Oh yeah, they changed it every season. It was an argument between the makeup artist and the producers.
Oh really?
Yeah. The makeup artist wanted them to be. I can't remember which way around it was. He wanted them to either be very traditional Vulcan or very untraditional Vulcan, and the producers wanted it the other way.
It's just very evident when they have another Vulcan in the scene.
It changes very much from season to season.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like I'm watching an episode of For All Mankind. Except not as thrilling.
Hey, I need that for my fleet boss battles. Famous last words.
Mm-hmm. Just like everyone else's. Ooh, sowing the seeds.
Do you have no idea what an arranged marriage is?
Yeah, I would have thought. Well, I think they're just explaining it for the audience, aren't they? But I mean, like. Oh, yeah.
No, they did not.
No.
They are very much still a thing. In places that are still called first world countries.
Cranky and I are set to be married next week.
Oh. Where was my?
And they've only met 4 times.
I've never met Frank. Not that I remember, anyway.
Are you going to
Your
have to
super
move to
couple
Australia?
name will be Frankie.
Frankie. I believe in Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah, and that's kind of where everything goes wrong, isn't it?
Drop and rejoin. My audio's just suddenly gone out of sync with my video.
Oh, really? Okay. Do it.
Do we ever see anyone pull anything out of those pockets that are zippered like right under?
I don't know. I feel like they probably did, like, early on.
What's that?
Did they ever pull anything out of the zip pockets in their uniforms?
Yeah, like the one.
Yes. Can't remember the episode.
Travis fell.
And he broke his leg for the 8th time.
Yeah.
But the first time we actually see.
I thought you were a boomer.
There's no way there's enough gravity on this comet to have made that fall.
Bearing in mind, Travis is the most experienced rock climber in the group.
He knows where the sweet spot is.
Yeah, but ice isn't rocks.
Yeah, that's right, Travis. The mission comes first.
Yeah, all he needs now is just leave me here. I'll slow you down.
Oh no, the sun is coming.
Until the sun comes around.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is a plot point in For All Mankind, and they do it loads better.
But they watch this episode and learn from it.
I think so. It is a Ronald D. Moore production, so maybe. That's quite a nice little pan out. I like that. Back to the cave.
I love how thin the door is on the shuttle pod. It's literally just a single sheet of metal.
Just
that
wild.
shuttlecraft.
Transparent aluminum. Down we go. Like, yeah, now you've said it, Shy. Gravity doesn't work like that. Comet's not strong enough.
The gravitational field on this thing is ridiculous.
There's like one really like condensed core of iron in the middle of it.
Like we see people bouncing around on the moon. These people are walking like it's surface of the Earth.
Best mountaineer on the crew falls and breaks his leg. Best pilot on the crew crashes the shuttlecraft. Yeah, grappler.
Oh, here we go. Test pilot Archer.
I'm taking over.
This might be the only time we see Archer at the con. Oh.
Oh, he could have
Metal
used it.
Commander.
It's a manual steering column.
Not often you see them use the.
That
sliding
exactly what I was
seat.
thinking. I was surprised anyone was going to pick that up because we were talking about that a lot in the when we were looking at the bridges. And we're like, this chair slides. We never see it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed. They clearly installed artificial gravity on the comet before they landed. Yeah, I do. I have to admit, I do like grapple attention. Like it's.
Yeah, they should never have got rid of the grapplers. Even when they got tractor beams, keep the grapplers for fun.
We've decided to leave you here. Oh, I just realised the time code is massively wrong. I don't know what's happened there. Oh, it's because I'm going between shit. No, never mind. Tractor beam? Oh, bringing it back round.
Let the tractor be thrumming.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a good old classic tractor beam there. Reed will have it up and running within the hour. Not if I see you first. It's over, bitch.
Archer acting like it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
While sending the message, even though he ordered the transmissions to be decoded.
Sorry, he's got Trips the mediator here.
The fall guy.
Ooh. That's a really messy looking pecan pie.
I didn't see a fork either.
No. Oh no, she's just going to devour that with her hands. She says she likes to eat everything prim and proper, but she's going to go face first into that, I bet you. Okay. Oh. Oh, Shai, you're muted.
Answering questions from people passing by in the living room.
Oh, right. Sorry. What are you doing? Who are these four strange men on the screen?
Why is your home just an open thoroughfare in an alley where people walk through and see a man on a couch?
We're bringing it
I've
to
seen
you
him in an episode of something somewhere.
Bringing it to you live from the streets of San Francisco, yeah. Can you imagine if we did that? That should be quite a cool idea. Just have people come and watch Star Trek with you and give their opinions. That'd be quite fun. That'd be a good novelty.
CBS would come and shut you down.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Enough when you get a few episodes in.
Yeah, you get at least 2 or 3 before there's a lawyer on your corner. Someone with a clipboard over your shoulder going, you can't do that.
That's when you come here and you do like your live podcast from Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yeah. I wish. Anyway,
does Trek Time have the budget to include a flight for all of us there as well? Then,
when I win the lottery,
drink it all away in England.
Yeah, when I win the lottery, yeah. But that's why they have conventions in Blackpool, so we can actually go to those there.
we were actually going to watch some Star Trek in Blackpool. We didn't.
I think we'll have a better chance next year because we're actually going to rent an Airbnb place, aren't we? So
we'll be in the same house.
Anyway, welcome everyone to Star Trek, our ongoing review and watch along of the episodes of Star Trek. This week we have been going through the very magnanimous episode of Enterprise, Breaking the Ice, where we're very little about breaking physical ice and more about the boundaries between humans and Vulcans and whether it's appropriate to read other people's mail even if they've read the mailbox. Go on, Frank.
I just realized it was a metaphor. That makes so much
breaking yeah, you see.
Wow.
They didn't explain it very well, so that's why I had to break the boundaries here. Joining me, we have Cranky.
I wasn't actually watching.
Yes, we have Cranky, we have Shy, we have Frank, we have Genos. Gentlemen, your opening thoughts on this episode before we go into the real details. Was this the scintillating episode of Star Trek Enterprise that you really expected from something that's pushing the boundaries of the final frontier, or was it just a lot of people talking about T'Pol's relationships?
I think it was a good, fun episode with some deep undertones.
How deep?
How deep is your undertones?
And then another 9 meters.
Yeah, another 9 meters on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a little bit deep with the whole the reading the private messages thing, the arranged marriage storyline that has just been started, and then there's the relationship with the Vulcans, which is not particularly deep, but it kind of, I don't know. It's a fun episode though. There's a lot of giggles.
It was definitely played off as a little bit more of a comedic. It was half and half. It sort of straddles the line. It had that problem that Unexpected had, where it's like trying to go for laughs one moment and then Archer just getting really annoyed the next, and you don't quite know where the focus is with the episode. How about you? How about you, Shai? How did you find this episode?
I mean, it's tough because this episode's 2, maybe 3 years after Armageddon and Deep Impact. It's coming on the heels of 2 asteroid movies coming out of Hollywood, and the production value in this episode is not great. I mean, obviously their budgets are limited nowadays. They would fly to Iceland and shoot this all in ice caves, and
which they did for Discovery
terrains.
I think it's like one of
the That's what I meant. That's what I was comparing to. But obviously the Discovery budgets are astronomical compared to these Enterprise budgets. But yeah, to echo what everyone is saying, the interpersonal stuff's good. The development of the T'Pol character is good. As I mentioned during the watch log, it was a little jarring to see her eyebrows next to the Vulcan captain's eyebrows at the dinner scene. You really realize that they were having some incongruity of makeup there. But yeah, you get a famous audio clip out of it. The poop question.
Yeah.
Clip. I think Bakula does some decent acting here. I don't like the way he throws Trip under the bus with the decryption thing.
Yeah, you're probably.
He's like, well, that's a big problem for you there, Trip. Good luck with that. But yeah, it's an okay episode. It's nothing super happens.
How about you, Frank?
Not only a Vulcan captain with varying eyeballs, but that Vulcan captain looked like he had a severe case of jaundice and he needs a liver transplant yesterday. Dude was green. I have, believe it or not, I have, jokes aside, a vivid memory of this because Enterprise had just premiered 2 months earlier. And I had a group of friends in town that we would get together and watch Enterprise. It came on Wednesday for us every Wednesday night because it was like new Star Trek. Hell yeah, it was great. This was like the 8th episode or something of season 1. So we're still fleshing out all the characters. We're still figuring out who's who and figuring out we're on a submarine of a spaceship that is no more technologically advanced than what we have in present day. Their chairs are computer chairs you could go buy at the store. But you're still trying to get the hang of everything. Like Shai said, 2 years too late to the Armageddon Deep Impact stuff. Deep Impact, better movie, by the way. Hot take. For early Enterprise, it's not bad. It's just slow because everybody has to get a story beat. Everybody gets a line. Everybody gets a job to do, so you can learn. Oh, that's the engineer. He does poop questions. Oh, that's the xenolinguistics person. There we go. The translator, she reads other people's mail. Okay, no, she doesn't. She has morals. We like her. Okay. This guy likes pecan pie. That, by the way, their replicators make really bad pecan pie, or the chef does. It's kind of slow. Didn't feel a whole lot like Star Trek. It felt like the whatever episode of whatever show on TV at the time, but half on an asteroid and half in dining quarters and in somebody's office having conversations of a personal nature, reading each other's mail. Like
an office with very low beams.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, why have that low beam in your ready room? And he just kept walking past it and ducking and walking past and ducking. It's like, just stand still. Yeah. Don't have to pace. It's fine.
Yeah, my first thought when she said that she was going to marry an architect, I was like, well, that's perfect. Because clearly the ship needs a massive remodel.
Yes, what do we need an architect on this ship? Like, have you not seen...
And we all know that Vulcans design great ships.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Otto.
How about you, Janos? How did you find the episode?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I think that, they did the good writing where there was 2 distinct storylines that ended up converging in the end, and it brought everyone together to solve the problem. So, from that perspective, it's good. And, everyone had something to do. Everyone kind of highlighted what their character is supposed to do. And then we had a little bit of relationship building between Trip and T'Pol, and Archer gets out of his own way after being hammered over the head by T'Pol and Trip. But yeah, otherwise he just gets irritated and progressively more irritated as time goes on. It's like the levels of Archer irritation. It fluctuated. It went up throughout the whole episode.
Just pissing Archer off. If you ever want to do it, just be very curt and just say it, answers in single sentences, and that just really winds him up. Apparently, just like to the point where he's about to throw fists.
And then he kicks him out of the dining room.
Yeah. Wow, look at the time.
Well, where did the time go?
Literally saying, "Where did the time go?" Yeah.
I had fun.
Do you know what the thing that was going through my head is just like, I'm waiting for something to happen in this episode. Like, I'm waiting for like the big hook, and I know the big hook was supposed to be, oh, the asteroid's in trouble, and then the shuttle pod falls into the asteroid, despite, as Shai pointed out in a watch along, where's the gravity on this asteroid being generated from? That is incredibly. How does a guy break his leg and also wreck a shuttle? But it felt like both of these plots were B and C plots to service an A plot. It didn't feel like there was. There was development. It kind of is the definition of a filler episode in a way that sort of sets up a lot of other things. But it's weird because when you're watching it live, which I remember doing, I remember thinking like, this episode does nothing. Like, what's going on? And where's like, even episodes before, like Strange New Worlds, the episode, not the series, or even Unexpected, had like consequences and plots and like sense of tension. We kind of didn't have any of the tension until like right at the end, where obviously the shuttle falls in the hole and Archer has to bite his lip and go, "Can I have some help, please?" And I suppose that was the point of the episode, but I don't know if they necessarily...
The A-plot is basically the relationship between the Vulcans and humans, isn't it?
Yeah, and I felt they did that much better in the Andorian incident, and later on the Shadows of Jem, and like other episodes to show, because we've had a lot of them talking about Archer and the Vulcans, being at odds and the Vulcans being overbearing, and I feel like we've had like a lot of that. And it also gets served a little bit better when you see the contrast with Valar, who comes along later and comes onto the ship being this very eccentric out towards Vulcan. I don't know, I felt it was played for gags, and I felt it didn't add a lot to it.
But no, I thought the actor portraying the Vulcan captain actually understood his assignment and was delivering pretty well. It's just that, as you say, this episode doesn't have a lot of action either. Physical action or
it's not them asking
political
for action,
emotional action.
It just felt like very like a day in the life of our cultural mishaps.
There was an explosion, at least.
There was, yes. Did you know that this episode got nominated for its visual effects? It got nominated for an Emmy.
No.
Wow.
Do you know what beat it?
What was going?
Broken Bow. The pilot episode.
You're kidding.
The effects in Broken Bow are fine, actually, if I recall.
Broken Bow is where we see Phlox with his fancy smile that cost a fortune, so they never did it again.
Yeah. Oh no, they did it in actually the episode we watched the other week with Abby Sommer in Stigma. They did it.
I think they did it once or twice after the original time they did it, because it cost. I think it was $10,000 for that one smile.
And you can just do that with Smudge Tool in Photoshop now.
Yeah.
But so this episode was written by Maria Jacometon and Andre Jacometon, I assume husband and wife, who only wrote 2 other episodes of Enterprise, specifically. One of them was Dear Doctor, and the other was Acquisition, the Ferengis incursion into episode. This is also directed by Terry Windell, who is a recurring director on Voyager. He did like Shattered, Dark Frontier, and Natural Law. Other fun fact about this episode: this is the first episode of Enterprise in the run that was not written by Berman or Braga, yet somehow managed to still feel like an episode of Berman and Braga's writing. I don't know if they had very tight control on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually how the writer's room works is, it's a writer's room, and even though their names weren't on it, I'm sure that they were heavily involved.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to our best and worst moments. So
the best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance. No. Just stop saying that.
Fun fact, Otto didn't want me to use that, but so I am. He sent it to me, he made that clip and sent it over to me. He's like, actually, I don't know if I want to use that. I'm like, no, it's brilliant, you have to have the ROM. No. Let's go over to our best and worst moments. Let's go reverse order. Genos, what are your best and worst moments? I'm kind of throwing you the easy bone there, because you could easily just, there's many good moments I think other people are going to pick, so yeah, feel free.
I might go off the beaten path a little bit, and mostly because this is one of my favorite desserts, and because I lived in Texas for the better part of a decade, that pecan pie looked like crap. I definitely would. Yeah, my mother-in-law would be very, very disappointed in that, and so would I. So it's cool, though, that it kind of signifies, T'Pol's openness to, building a relationship with humanity, and, building her relationship with Trip. So that's also my best moment, is the pecan pie symbolism.
Gone pecan pie for best and worst.
Yes. Or you can say pecan if you're an unwashed.
If you speak properly, yeah.
Is it pecan? Is that how we say it? I don't know. Do you know? I talk to Americans and English people like in equal measure, and my lexicon is thrown all over the place. It's ridiculous.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. Yeah, lovely.
Pecan
Lovely
pie?
pecan pie.
Yeah. Pecan pie for both.
That's true. I do like pecan pie. That's very nice. Frank, best and worst.
So let's go.
You can't say
pick
the theme
a worst.
song.
You know, I'm not. I'm going to be objective here. I'm going to pick stuff that I don't think anybody else will pick. Worse, I'm going to go with the idea, because again, remember, this is the 8th episode of a brand new series where these are the first explorers and these alliances are just forming, and you're supposed to feel like it's more in current time than it is in the offset future of the other Star Treks. So things make sense. But then if you sit and break it down, even in 2001, and insult your intelligence, how they got subspace mail and why they're only talking to a single 4th grade class instead of addressing, because they are the flagship of the Starfleet of the Federation. I mean, why just talk to, like, they should be having like Zoom calls with everyone on Earth weekly to be like, hey, check out this cool stuff we just saw. You know, like, and I get the idea of the moment, but just the writing not great there. Best, I'm going to score the underlying tones of Vulcans and humans growing relationships, even if it didn't seem so, with a truly well-played Vulcan captain, to Shai's point, that he's willing to offer the tractor beam, help everybody out. We're not spying. We're just making sure that you don't kill yourself because you're human and you suck.
I'm not talking about children.
Like, yeah, I know.
I know. You keep saying, I can do this. I'm sure you can, but you're going to do it wrong.
And it was also, to add to Genos' point, it was very appropriate that pecan pie looked like crap, considering it was made from reclamated crap.
The sanitation engine was down that day. Shai, how about you? Best and worst?
I think the worst moment for me is just the whole comet geography, set design, gravity, physics of it. The idea that they didn't think that setting off an explosion on the side of the comet might somehow alter the trajectory of the comet.
Yeah.
Like basic rocket science, you know. Yeah, it was a lot of spray foam insulation, a lot of carving of
a lot of asbestos.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite bit of Star Trek set design. My favorite moment, actually, I think, quietly, Phlox and Sato do some really good acting work, like during the question and answer scene. Like, she's really good there. Like, that's actually the calmest you see Sato in season 1, when she's not fretting about her insecurities about being in space and
Hoshi Sato. You got to say it like that.
Yes, yeah.
Sato.
Hoshi Sato.
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Yeah, exactly. Billy Fox is great in both his scene with DePaul in the sickbay and on that bridge scene describing germs. As I think Cranky mentioned, he has the far more interesting answer, and yet they cut him off and let Trip go on and on about his poop question.
A poop question, sir?
There it is. Thank you. Thank you. That's some good audio producing right there, folks. But yeah, you know, not a lot happens, but it's okay.
Cranky, best and worst.
See, I remember the grappler part being better than it was, so I wanted that to be my best, but it wasn't.
Top 10 grappler
I think
moments. That's a breakout video.
Yeah. Not including Groppler Zorn.
Yes, top 10 grappler moments. That's a whole different thing.
No, I think my best moment is probably it's the way they sort of depict humans on. Like, you've got Mayweather and Reed on the surface being humans, you know, making snowmen and having a little joke, and they make a very clear definition between the humans and the Vulcans. Vulcans are very uptight in this episode. They're very don't care, not interested. We're just here to help you because we know you're going to fuck up. Whereas the humans, like, yeah, fuck it, we're here. We're on a snow planet. Let's have a snowball fight. Let's make a snowman. And Mayweather and Reed are basically on a date. They just act like they're on a little date. We should get out more.
Yeah. Never take me out as much as you used to.
Worst moment. I don't know if I can think. I can't think of a particular worst moment. Most of the bad moments have been mentioned. I'd say the ship design. Archer having to duck his head maybe with the beams constantly as he moves through.
I'm going to be looking out for that every time he paces around his radio because I've never noticed that before. I don't know why.
He does it quite a lot. He actually puts his hand on it quite a lot and leans on it. I've noticed. I've watched Enterprise more than once.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about all I can think of.
Give him my best moment. My best moment is the Vulcan ship. That is a lovely design. I think it's the first time you actually see a full Vulcan ship. Like it is the Shikar,
the Sirach class.
The Sirach class. That's it. Yeah. It's such a nice design. I have one on a shelf somewhere up there. One of the Eagle Moss ones. It takes the ring ship idea a bit further because the ring ship was originally a design for the Enterprise, back the XCV 30 or something like that. It was originally going to be ring ship with a little pole through the middle. So it's nice that they reused that for the Vulcan art as well. So Matt Jeffries, I believe, was involved in that, the original Enterprise designer. So nice to see that legacy being carried forward into the thing. Worst moment, I might have to go with how did they send space art out to the Enterprise quicker than everything. And okay, they might have printed it out after a digital transmission, but why would you? And they actually very much looked like that was the original crayon drawings, unless they went home, picked them up, and then went back out again. It was very confusing.
Is there any chance that they colored it with crayons?
Maybe.
Well, they got a picture of it on the screen and then drew it by hand in crayon from looking at the image on the screen.
I never got the sense that they were flying in like a straight line directly away from Earth. I mean, they are.
Yeah, it does, but you do get that line that's like, "Oh, we're being recalled back to Earth." Like I think that happened in a couple of episodes we watched previously. It makes it kind of sound like they're flying the final frontier, and they're going out where pretty much everyone else in the galaxy is gone.
There's so much unexplored territory. They could be going like a slow spiral out from Earth. And they're like supply ships that meet them along the way,
Turns out they've just been orbiting Pluto for like 3 seasons.
Right.
Now, I still think that the fourth graders scan them to PDF files.
Okay.
They sent them through an encrypted transmission, and then they got printed on Enterprise.
An encrypted transmission.
Matrix printers.
Yes, definitely encrypted.
No, here's my theory.
Maybe a zip file.
They'd sent out a plea to say, hey, any children want to send us some stuff? No one did, so Trip went downstairs and drew them all himself. And they went, look what these children did, look! That one looks like an alien.
It's not pretty Vulcan.
There's actually a mailroom clerk position on the Enterprise that you never meet, and that's his job. It's like he gets these digital PDFs and he has to take crayons. He has to actually draw it and do it all and be like...
It's there all day, painstakingly recreating them.
Yeah, these children are actually immensely talented, but he's not.
Yes. They've sent works of art and he's destroyed them.
What we got left on the ship? It's just crayons, that's all we got. You're not got any oil paints? Where's your watercolors? No, just got crayons.
The Enterprise mailroom. I want to see that in one episode.
That'll be coming soon to a Star Trek Adventures session near you.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Bob, the Enterprise mailroom attendant.
No, at the moment it's Dave. Dave is the current recurring character in all things.
Currently using Dave.
That's Big Dave in the mailroom.
Big Dave. I just imagine someone like 6 foot tall, massive bellies. That's Big Dave. Okay.
He's also got to be like ridiculously high ranking. He's got to be a commander that just keeps getting passed over. He fails the command class, and he's like always passed up for captain, and so he's just like the mailroom guy. But he's the third highest ranking person on the ship
with all the mail.
Yeah. One time he gets the command pitch and like, you take the bridge. He's like, I don't know how this works. How do you post stuff here? Where's your sorting algorithms?
I've got mail to sort. I can't be doing with this.
I've got several encrypted letters to read.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the one thing I was going to get through. Is like, how do you feel about the whole like Archer just going, "Well, decrypt it. It's a personal message. Let's just go through." I mean, I know he was kind of going through his massive conspiracy. Vulcans are are secretly Illuminati spies for an otherworldly cult, but he was definitely just like, "Oh, personal message to T'Pol from the Vulcans must be suspicious. Decrypt it," and then throws Trip under the bus. How do we feel about that?
Never trusted Vulcans. I'll never forgive them for what they did to my son.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's definitely you'd in that situation. I think any normal person would first approach T'Pol or the Vulcans. It depends which way which way it's gone, and say, "Look, there's an encrypted message. What's the deal? Is it something very personal? Is it something I need to be worried about?"
We know that the writers of Enterprise do have a problem with consent because it's come up several times and it's not even funny. It's an oddly weird thing. Okay, let's go over to our...
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's much too low a rating.
Just not accustomed to seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
It's rating time. It's that wonderful time of the night where I get to put magic numbers into my spreadsheet and come up with a conclusive scientific formula for how good this episode is. So let's start. Let's go random. Frank, let's start with you. We need a rating criteria for this. I kind of have one already, but I don't know if anyone else has a criteria at the top of their tongue that they really want to get out. Because since Stars isn't here, but
how many moody teenage Vulcans out of 10?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You could also do how many slices of poopy pecan pie or pecan pie.
I like that one.
How many poop questions out of 10? Yeah.
Any Vulcan Captain Dicks? Vulcan Dick Captains?
How dickish?
No.
Captains. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, dickish. I don't know.
I can't say it. Yeah.
Charles,
I'm fine with either of those.
I like the poopy pecan pie, so I think we'll go with that. How many slices of poopy pecan pie would you give this episode? Frank, let's start with you.
Wait, what are our pre-ratings? You got to bring those back.
Oh,
right?
I didn't write them down. I tend not to. I think we're all about 5s and 4s, weren't we? So
mine was 6.
I said 3 pre-rating because legitimately it's been a long time since I've rewatched Enterprise and forced myself to rewatch this. But no, that's not true, because when some of these cards came to the mobile game Star Trek Timelines, available on mobile devices and computers near you, download today. I rewatched the episode because I was like, "Snowman, what?" And I remembered. If 5 is just a perfectly middle of the road, hey, it's a Star Trek episode, I'm glad to waste 42 minutes watching this. Maybe some character development happens for one person, but it has no bearing whatsoever on the entirety of the series. It's just a filler episode, and like 7 or 8 is like really good stuff, and 1 or 2 is, Voyager or Enterprise or what have you. Season 1 TNG. I'm going to bump up my pre-rating. I'm not going to quite give this a 5. I'm going to give this like a 4.8. Slices of poopy pecan pie. It was early Enterprise. They were fleshing everybody out. So the plot is basically, hey, we accidentally read somebody's mail because we are xenophobic and we don't trust the aliens that we're in an alliance with and this first officer of the ship. Even though if you watch Star Trek, you know that that's the first officer of many ships and they're fine. But we have to tell you why we didn't get along with them at first. Beyond that,
is she the first officer at this point? I thought it was
think she is
not the first officer.
Yeah,
I think she
is
does
always
have
the
seniority.
first
Okay.
4.8. Okay, Genos, let's go with you. What would you give this? How many slices of pecan pie?
Yeah, so I think I pre-rated a 5.5. I'm gonna bump it up to 5.9.
Ooh. Just edging that 6. You can't quite. What's stopping it becoming a 6 for you?
The poopy pecan pie itself. Yeah, I mean, we definitely got some through lines that are going to continue for the rest of the show, and they really kind of started here, where T'Pol's willing to confide in Trip, and Archer is willing to see past his prejudice of Vulcans a little bit. Vulcans that aren't T'Pol and Vulcans that aren't Saval. All the Ols. So 5.9. I can't quite get to 6 because I'm not afraid of decimals.
Decimals don't scare me. Shy, how about you? Are you scared of decimals, or are you going to keep straight to the line, as you have done for pretty much every episode apart from one?
Really? Which was the one that
You gave Charlie X a 2.4.
Are you sure? I
have it written here. I have it written here.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that episode. It doesn't seem like I cared enough about that episode to break into decimal points. No, I'm going to stay at 5. I think my pre-rating was pretty much exactly where this episode lies. Yeah. It's just there.
It is. An Enterprise episode that merely exists.
It is, yeah.
It is, therefore it is in the canon. Okay, go on, Craig.
I hope at some point Lower Decks in its final season or some other show has a scene where they're climbing some sort of rock face or mountain, and they get to the top and they're like, well, everything's fine, and then they just move on. Like nothing eventful happens during the climb.
No, they need a Mayweather redemption arc. He needs to rescue someone and be the hero on some kind of a mountaineering trip, rather than the victim.
Yes. Go on then, Cranky. What's your score for this episode?
Well, my pre-score was 6. I'm going to slightly downgrade.
Ooh.
This is, as has been said by several of my contemporaries, a very run-of-the-mill, standard Star Trek episode. It's not amazing, it's not bad, it's got good and bad points. I'm going to go for a 5.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, all the 5s.
All the 5s. 5.5. Okay.
5.5 pieces of poopy pecan pie.
I find this... Okay, I'm going to tell the story once again because I always end up telling it, and it always involves these early episodes of Enterprise. I think this one is... Yes, it is. So I used to have a VHS tape, long play VHS tape, that when I had insomnia I used to put it on, and it used to, pretty much get me to sleep right about this episode. And it had, the first 8 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise. So by this point, I was thoroughly wooed to sleep. This was kind of a dull episode. Not a lot happens. There's some stuff with the ice stuff. The trailer kind of encapsulates my opinion on it as like they didn't really have enough to put out a gripping episode trailer, so they just showed an explosion and Mayweather falling down a hill. The Vulcan stuff was possibly the only redeeming arc, but Archer was a bit of a... was being very needlessly pissy with them. He knows what they're like. He's worked with Vulcans for many years. He knows how blunt they're going to be. But also Archer's just being Archer and being as blunt as he's going to be. And throwing Trip under the bus as well. Just saying like, we need to encrypt it. Oh, you did? Sucks to be you. I ain't reading that. I'm gonna go for a 4. There's some good parts in it, but I wasn't riveted by this episode the way that I have been. Just to talk about other Star Trek, other Enterprise episodes. I liked the Andorian incident, or even Strange New World. They had like plot arcs that weren't quite as... This definitely felt like the filler that was filling out the universe, which is a good thing. They definitely filled out a lot more lines with T'Pol's relationships with Trip Tucker, with Archer's and relationships with the Vulcans, but I felt like that could have been done in many other areas.
Too says Archer's having that attitude the week after giving away a secret Vulcan military base.
Yeah, so this is after the Andorian incident where he's just gone like, send it to the Andorians. Oh, I'm the victim. Which brings us to the conclusion, and this is a surprise. This is a straight 5. Our average is exactly 5. This is scientifically proven to be a complete middle-of-the-road Star Trek episode that you can put on and you will watch and experience some Star Trek. So, yes. On that note, if you're on the live stream, stick about. We're going to watch some TNG, a bit hide and Q, something with more stakes but more camp. So let's enjoy that. If you're on YouTube, we will see you soon in 2 weeks for some hide and Q. So thanks to all the guys here. We will see you later. Live long, prosper, and ta-ra. And I'm going to have a very quick wee, and then I will be back.
I have my Q hairdo for this episode.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Getting prepared. Yeah. I wanted to do something in uniform or special, and this
I'm
is
going
it.
to refill my drink.
Oh wow, everyone went. Wow, this would be good for anyone coming to the stream for the first. Like, where is everyone? It's just a bunch of empty seats. Quick round of Wii bowling between episodes. Yeah, why not? Sorry, Overtime. I didn't see a lot of your chat. I didn't see you were bang on the idea there. Oh, dull episodes, but now we're on to something a bit more fun. Oh, hang on.
We all left.
Hello. I know everyone was just left.
Got a shandy.
Oh, you got a shandy. I actually went and got a beer Moretti I had in the cupboard. I was like, ooh.
Look good.
Because I think I'm going to need it after this next episode. It's going to be fun and a bun.
I don't remember which one this is.
Hide and Q. So this is... I've got the... Oh, hang on.
Is this the...
This is where Wesley gets stabbed with a big spear thing.
Yeah, this is the Marshall Q episode.
And it's where Riker gets the Q power.
Ah.
The power of a god.
She's grown up Wesley.
Oh my god, yes, it is that one as well. Oh wow, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And the weird Civil War aliens.
Q costume count.
Oh, we get...
Yeah. Marshall Q, Data
Q as well.
Q. Yeah.
It's a lot of Q. Yeah, we need to keep the Q costume count, actually. We need to figure out what that is.
I think there's 4 or 5 timelines Qs.
Riker Q, Riker Q.
I was going to ask how many Qs we're going to get from this episode.
It's a gold mine.
I'm on Thatcher's Haze, Cloudy Somerset Cider.
That's lovely.
Ooh, I love cider. Is it just apple, or is there any kind of other fruit?
No, this is just a cloudy apple cider made with sweet apples. Somerset's sweetest apples, 4.5%.
Not
bad.
Nice cider.
Have you ever tried Perry, which is like pear cider?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perry's nice.
There's a local farm shop just down the road from me that they do homemade cider.
Yeah.
Clive's Wobble Juice, it's called. They do a nice Perry.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Oh, it's delicious cider as well. And they do like old school. They got a massive oak barrel with a tap, and you can just go in there with your whatever size bottle you want and have how much. You know, they sell it by the pint out of this huge barrel.
Nice.
Awesome.
I just have some matcha chocolates from Japan. My daughter went to Japan back in May.
Did she? Where
Yeah,
did
it's a collection.
Where did she go?
Oh, mostly just Tokyo. She
Okay.
just basically stayed in Tokyo with her boyfriend.
Oh.
But yeah, it just has like various intensities of matcha in the chocolate.
Oh, wow.
It's like a bar graft of chocolate.
Yeah, basically.
Hello.
These are coincidentally my Star Trek ratings. My rewatch ratings.
Over time.
Which one's the? Which
see Charlie X in there.
This is best of both worlds right here.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? Yeah. Because we were talking about Best of Both Worlds, and I remember speaking to Otto about it. He goes, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to rate that episode highly," and I'm like, "What? How could you not?"
Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly.
He was just talking to me about rewatching Pride and Prejudice, the Colin Firth.
He's been talking to me
Jennifer
about that as well.
BBs. Has he? Yeah. He's like, I like the movie better. I'm like, no.
He's going through his romantic Jane Austen phase. Oh, hobnobs.
Ooh.
Classic hobnobs. Milk chocolate hobnobs.
I don't think I have any cookies in my house at all. The only thing I have that's like sweet is some popsicles. That's about it.
How Vulcan of you.
Yes, very, very much so.
Tea. Do you think they have like ice cream on Vulcan? Do you think they have like Plomic tea ice creams or like?
You would think ice desserts would be a big thing, right?
Yeah, it's very hot on Vulcan. They need to cool down, surely.
Yeah,
completely flavorless.
What do you think
flavorless ice cream?
Yeah. What do they milk?
Ice.
They must have.
Have we seen any like
a Sellat? The big beasts. They must have Sellat milk.
Oh dear God! You mean the ones that will kill you?
Yeah. Yes. It's spicy butter.
Are they mammals?
I think
domesticated.
So.
Yeah, according to the cartoon, they had fur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They also kill you.
Yes. It's
domesticated ones.
They're very hard to milk. It's only a Vulcan can do it.
So we're having Sellat ice cream on Vulcan.
Okay.
Didn't Spock get one as a pet in a very Herculean style story in that he was sent out to survive however many nights in the wild, and he ended up the beast that was stalking him ended up being friends with him.
That was the plot to like literally the best Taz episode. What was it called?
Yeah, I'm sure that's where Spock becomes friends with HR, and that becomes his pet.
Yes, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that is.
That's a good episode.
It's a very good episode. That's the only episode of Taz I would suggest that people watch. I would also suggest people watch The Magics of Megas 2 if you've not seen it. Yeah, because none of you guys were here when we watched that. Go watch that one. That's insane. That is someone had an LSD trip and just animated it. It's wild.
That's the one with Lucian?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Go and watch
Isn't
it.
Harry Mudd in that one as well?
No.
No,
he is in a different one. He comes back in an episode called Mudd's Passion, which is later on.
Yeah, because he sells Chapel some kind of a potion to make Spock fall in love with her.
Oh, it's happened again.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. Let's do some watch-alongy things. Okay, so I have here a trailer for the episode Hide and Q. Shall we watch it? Shall we? Right. Here we go.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Can any of you stay alive?
The crew's challenged once again by the dreaded Q.
We have offered you a gift beyond all other gifts.
Tempting Commander Riker with extraordinary power.
Are you strong enough to refuse to use that power?
In a game that becomes a deadly confrontation. On Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
I sure hope somebody else gets stabbed.
I really hope they fix that. This seems like it's an early production leak, and I hope they fill those green screen backgrounds in. That's all I'll say.
Spoiler: they do not.
I never understood the weird aliens in this. Why have they got those weird unexplained aliens?
Michael Westmore need an audition. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
They were probably leftover prosthetics from some other production that they just mixed with costumes from the.
What have we got? 12 costumes of? Let's use 12 makeup pieces.
They were doing a production of Napoleon next door, and they were just like, fantastic. Can we just borrow these a second? We need something quick. Very TOS. Okay, let's do pre-ratings. Cranky, what do you remember, and what are you giving this episode to start with?
I remember a fair bit about this episode. No spoilers though. I'm giving this one. I'm going 6 again. This is, from memory, this is a better than average episode.
Ooh. For TNG season 1, you're going with a 6. Wow.
And it also gives you. Wesley pulls a face that I've seen in a meme numerous times, where he is compared to a trainer, a sports shoe.
I know what you mean.
And it is such a perfect comparison. It's amazing.
Wesley, you look like a shoe. Shy, what are you going with?
I'm also going with 6. I'm always been of the opinion that season 1 of Star Trek TNG is unfairly maligned by the fan base. I feel like it's sort of a something that just gets repeated and repeated, and so people start to believe it, and it actually belies how much good, somewhat dated, but solid sci-fi writing is in season 1. They're transitioning from an old style of science fiction storytelling to a newer style. So some of it seems dated, but I like when the costume department gets to raid their archives. So I'm going 6.
Cool. Frank.
Oh, it's been a while since I've done props. I've shuffled the deck. Now we will do strip cut. And I am going to give this episode is your card a 5.5.
Oh, okay. I'm actually low-key impressed. That's great. I would laugh if you just pulled out a Joker and a Jack.
Why aren't we surprised that the guy that lives in Vegas can do close-up magic and card tricks?
Only part-time. Only part-time. It's too damn hot in there right now, so I have to go somewhere where it's only 105 degrees.
Just wedding bar mixes.
I was just at a birthday party where a 10-year-old was showing us magic tricks from his National Geographic magic trick kit, and he did that exact same.
That's actually what I do for a living. Is I do children's birthday parties, and I get kicked in the shins frequently because apparently Crappy the Clown is not a good name. I get hired. I don't know.
Genos, go for it.
I mean, I remember this episode being pretty fun. I always enjoy John Delancey whenever he pops up, whether it's in TNG or Voyager, that one time in DS9, or even in Picard. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I remember being entertained. It's an interesting moral dilemma that comes up, and even though Riker doesn't have a beard, I'm going to pre-rate this at a 6.2.
Ooh, a 0.2. Yeah, in my head, every time someone does a decimal, I'm trying to rationalize, like, why have you gone to a 0.2? What's that 0.2? Where's a 0.8? Where are we going? What are we doing here? What's the 0.2 for?
There's no ration for it.
It's just instinct. It's pure, just like, this is where I'm not quite a 7. I'm not quite a 6.5, but I don't want to go halfway and do a 6.3, but maybe we'll just drop it there. Yeah, okay.
Fine, 6.25.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't. Okay.
We're getting to hundreds now.
Yeah.
Yes.
6.3.
If you're feeling smart, you can convert it to a decimal.
I think you might have talked me up to a 6. I remember this episode being campy as anything, like incredibly campy, with like a passable morality hook into it with Riker's dilemma, but. We'll see. I'll go 6. I fully expect to maybe go lower. But let me just queue up this episode.
Pre-scoring is very above average.
Yeah, this definitely is. I think there is no. When we do the pre-scoring, I think it's just more like we're trying to gauge each other's ideas of where we sit, what our memory shows of these episodes, and like I think it has happened a couple of times where we've gone like, oh wow, I remember this episode being great, I'm gonna go for an 8 or 9, actually going like, oh no, what was wrong with me? Who was I back then? What kind of person was I that I enjoyed this episode back then? Okay, let's start this episode. We are going in. Oh yes, usual line. Spool up your Blu-ray players, your DVDs, your Paramount Pluses, your laser discs. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Captain's log, stardate 41590.5. Having dropped off Councillor Troy at Starbase G6.
Oh, so she's not in this episode, okay.
We were fortunately close to the Sigma 3 solar system when its Federation colony transmitted an urgent call from...
You didn't hear that, guys.
People running around, active.
That's good, though. It's busy.
I love the way Crusher struts. She struts like she's going somewhere with meaning.
I like the wallpaper in that corridor.
So why did Sirtis not get to be in this one?
That's why you have the decimal points.
It's a Q episode. She can't read Q's mind, so she's got no purpose on the ship.
Methane-like gas. So somebody farted a lot.
Yeah, methane-like gas. You mean methane? Methane, yeah. Oh no! Look who showed up.
I want to see someone pull the string like you do in a train for an emergency stop.
Yeah, smash the button on the wall. Ding!
They get to reuse the CGI from Farpoint.
Yeah. Oh, look at that leap!
Oh, he does it! He does it! He does the little jump over the bridge bit.
The leap.
Does this count as the costume count number 1?
Man, Jonathan Frakes' eyes are so blue.
So is that at this point supposed to be Q in his natural form?
No, he's supposed to be. I think he says it in a minute. He's sort of supposed to be like a Denevian worm or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
that's
think the Qs
number
ever show
1.
themselves. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, do we have? Is that one in timelines? Admiral Q? I don't think it is it?
No, we never see Admiral Q.
Oh, I thought it was.
Because that admiral, they like, season 1 TNG changes that admiral's uniform so many times. I think it's the first time we see an admiral's uniform, like in this era. And then when it sort of turns
that will be my next quest, to have that card brought to the game. after
unless you count Legends.
Well, after I get a Voyage exclusive gold, that would probably be first.
Which is pretty hard since you don't play.
McCoy's uniform in the
oh yeah
pilot.
Yes. Oh yeah, the one I sent you, the one without the strap. The test footage of McCoy and the.
Never see the same admiral's uniform twice in Trek.
Do you know, it's gotten even more ridiculous. Like even in Prodigy, like the uniforms change like every 2 or 3 episodes. It's just like, can you just stop? Can you please just stop?
Well, they have different.
He's not on the episode,
don't they?
And whatever that guy's name is, as Will Wheaton's cooler, as Wesley's cooler older self.
Yeah. Have you seen the people have photoshopped it? So they put Will Wheaton as he is now.
Yeah.
Put his face on photoshopped onto.
I'm surprised no one's
Wesley.
faked it actually. The fashion industry is a major player in the Federation. Yeah.
This is a good uniform.
Ah, that's what it is. Aldebaran serpent.
Yeah. Is that what they make the whiskey out of?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit.
They
Yeah,
squeeze.
Man, Delancey's so young here. Oh, let me count the ways. Previously on Star Trek The Next Generation. Shouty Picard in season 1, it really it goes hard, doesn't he?
He's still a very Shakespearean stage actor at this point, isn't he?
It's great stuff. I'm older than him now. It's terrible.
Oh gosh.
He's 47 here.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah.
Shit, that's only 7 years away from
now. Delancey's so childish as well in this.
But yeah, he's quite theatrical as well. It's very Shakespearean, fool like.
Oh, I didn't snap.
You didn't.
It's not as fun. Oh, there's the green screen.
Yep. We're in Studio Lot B, sir.
We got some moons, though.
That's true.
Riker's just having fun with it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm up for it, whatever.
He didn't want to go to a medical crisis. He's like, that's so boring.
We've never needed security before.
I was going there.
Yeah, when does timelines get... There's nothing wrong with me, Beverly.
Has to be the universe. I don't know what the
yeah, it's nothing. If there's nothing wrong with me, there must be something wrong with the universe.
Can't remember the trigger.
Yeah, I need to pull
What's
those
the other room? What's the other door to the left there?
That's where he tries the head and he goes, "Oh no, I can't even use the toilet."
Yeah, that scene went on like 15 seconds longer than it needed to.
Oh, they're little Type 1 phases.
3.
Marshall Q.
Yeah, 3 Qs. He's almost Trelane-like here. Except not as childish.
It is almost a nod to Trelane, isn't it?
There's been, yeah. I mean, there was a whole book about it. Like, Peter David wrote Q squared. Like, yeah.
You mean this book? I just started reading.
Incredible. It's a good book.
Stealing
actually.
my magician bit where it's like, is this your book?
Lemonade. Cool.
He's definitely drinking lemonade, right?
Yeah.
Not Tranya.
I was going to say, please give Worf a very fancy cocktail.
Yeah, he hasn't got a warnog or blood wine.
Yeah. Did we?
At this point, John Delancey is very much his style is very much like Chris Barry, as in like Red Dwarf era Chris Barry.
Bit Rimmerish. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah, but this predates Red Dwarf by about a couple of years, doesn't it? This is Red Dwarf was 89.
Yeah, Red Dwarf. Yeah. Well, Red Dwarf basically parodied TNG for most of its early run. Red Dwarf was 88.
Was it 88? Wow.
Yeah.
And they're still filming parts. They're still filming a new series for it.
Yeah.
man, Delancey's so good because this is such a campy role. To be that villain, you see many people doing that kind of villainous thing, especially like with Joker. Like people try and do that, but he has that sort of like little edge of seriousness behind it. It's wild. Like he doesn't play the fool.
He's very good at doing the whole sort of mustache twirling thing without actually doing.
But it doesn't feel like
the
it.
top with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Or Armus.
Don't forget about
This is the same planet, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do we really need to check back in with Picard?
Got some pacing to do. Oh, this is where he does the dance. Hey, you're so angelic. Oh, he's so charming. Captain,
her makeup looks kind of weird. She's got the sort of pinkish, reddish glow all around the outside, and then she's got a very white middle to her face. Around her eyes and nose is very red.
But then that might be some of the.
It might be the lighting, or
lighting and saturation on the trims there. A nice shot of Q there, like an upshot. You don't see that often in the captain's chair.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, for Q.
Yeah, a little Dutch angle. A good Dutch angle. Mm-hmm. I barely know him.
Picard.
Picard. I don't know if it bugs me or not when it's, like Vadik always dropped the D. It was like Picard. Picard.
Picard.
Try to do like the proper French pronunciation. Whoa. Serpentine.
Yeah, the costume and makeup department have very much gone right. We've got a bunch of Civil War uniforms. We've got some weird beardy face makeup. Let's use that.
Run away! Picard, pecan, there's something there. Picard, yeah.
This is before he called him. He's calling him Picard all the time. And later in the run, he started calling him Mon Capitan.
Oh yeah.
Or Jean-Luc, yeah.
Don't not quote scripture to me, sir. I was there when it was written. It's interesting because this episode would make a good two-man play.
Yeah.
Aside from all these other characters. That's a pretty good weapon data.
Do they have phasers?
Oh yeah, they do have phasers.
The little tiny ones, the type 1s, right?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Wolf's like, I'm good at the security. I'm good at this.
I kind of wish Stars was here for this one. Just watching Worf be such a doofus.
Vicious animal things.
How many vicious animal things out of 10?
I think you might have it.
Oh no! How many wolves leaping over the bridge? Out of 10.
Leaping wolves.
Balding
wolves.
Yeah, oh, no. That has to be made.
Oh, there he is. Stay cute. That's a lot of work for them. Whoa. That's a...
Yeah, you go, Jordy. Parkour.
Just vaporize? Okay, fine.
Shoot to kill.
Yeah. That was just a straight torpedo. Use the force, Luke.
Use the force,
yeah.
Luke.
Trust your instincts. You know them to be true. Go on, Kamehameha.
You know, they could have come up with a better, Q clicking the fingers
Yeah,
is a thing,
but
Riker just sort of
raise your hand.
Yeah,
it's his first time doing it. He needs some time to work out his style. He might be a whole kind of.
It's like the captain's command to go. Like each Q has to come up with their own bit.
Turns out John Delancey Q is so vanilla. It's just a click. What's this? Yeah. We've never needed a warp core before.
Yeah.
I need to make some new What the Dub clips. There are so many in this episode I've seen.
Captain, you better look at this.
Yeah. He's got mad with power. Oh no, all that's in my head now is... I've just in my head. I've just got that rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a fake laugh.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Quill that said that, wasn't it? It's the most real laugh I've ever had. One of us. Q's only got Commander pips there.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is Commander
Q, yeah. Another variant.
Captain Q. We can get this new variant.
He's putting himself on the same level as Riker,
That's
so
true,
to show them that they're the same.
Read my pips.
Or a pip fell off. And
it's Corn. He's actually a lieutenant.
He really does have very blue eyes, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lost in them.
I tend to get lost in that dimple on his chin. Without the beard, that's all I see.
But then you lose it in what, another 15 episodes? Gone forever?
Yeah. Then he's got that glorious mane of hair that comes.
Not to be seen again until Insurrection.
It's true.
Yes. Smooth as an android's bottom.
Hey, Data.
Why are the A's all italic?
I don't know.
I noticed that earlier.
Subtitles, when you download them from random sources on the internet, are very strange. Oh, boy.
Where's his mom?
So they should have done more with that penalty box idea. They put it in the penalty box and then didn't have any kind of threat to... Right. It's a dream, Wesley. Go back to sleep. Got these.
I don't need to be armed.
For those who actually play timelines and we get generic villains or characters for the new upcoming Voyage event, spoilers.
Voyage.
These guys should be characters.
Go, Worf, go. Oh, no. Oh, straight in the dick. Just
Worf,
right in there.
Worf, who's an expert in hand-to-hand combat, stronger than the average human, gets taken out by...
There it is. Shoot Wesley.
Shoe face Wesley.
Oh, God. It's so bad at standing.
So Riker's Q motion is like throwing a ball up in the air and then hitting it. It's when you want to hit pop flies to the your baseball team.
He's when he realised that thing in his hand is actually like a beetle. He's like, no, get it away. Oh, now he can make logs.
Did he delete the part that Q recorded? Delete that entire personal log.
He's a professional. He kept it.
Aw, he didn't step
over the chair. Oh, fail.
He doesn't have the back issues yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Apart from that one woman on Beta Z, but she's not here right now. Talk to me about Pegasus.
Weirdly, when Sigma 3 came up in the subtitles, then the first I in the 3 was italic.
I saw that.
This week on Get Me Obsessed Over Subtitles. It is weird.
We're the random blue shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Look at this camera angle. This is nice.
That's wild, yeah.
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 We didn't build a roof on our set, so we have to improvise.
Yep.
How can we make this set look different? We've used it 3 times
it's
before.
Cool. It's different.
This is a crane. You're using a crane here.
It's some kind of methane gas.
Have you seen the YouTube videos? The some kind of video.
Styrofoam away.
I think the best time you see the styrofoam throw, I think it's Khan in the Wrath of Khan when Joaquin is under the big girder and Khan struggles to pick it up and then just gently tosses it away.
Oh no, we've got dead children. Crusher is conflicted.
You can tell because she's looking up and down.
Did Crusher like even scan her or anything?
Nah. That's him.
Yeah.
She's a doctor. She can tell from looking.
It's terrible.
Riker leaning on the bridge that's just a little bit too low for him.
Every reshot, they just lower the bridge.
Most. Who didn't you save?
Chief Engineer Singh.
I'm going to kind of say it. This is better than Gary Mitchell's approach on Godhood.
I mean,
I
Gary
was just
Leibowitz.
thinking of Q actions, and Riker's may not be the worst because what's your man in Voyager, Quinn, where he does the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
what is
bit,
Amanda Rogers is like that or something?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, boy!
Yeah.
Do we see any others? What does Corbin Benson do?
Oh, I don't know. What's Q Junior as well?
He does something similar to yeah. I can't remember what Lady Q does either. Q's wife.
That's Susie Plaxon.
Susie Plaxon.
Put some respects on her name.
The amazing Susie Plaxon.
Keep your Q's name out of my mouth, out of your mouth. So he's just interrupted this whole duty rotation just to have a speech.
That's right. Just what a monster would say.
Yeah. And then demand a response. Be comfortable. Or still has a TOS Baldric in this as well.
The one that got stolen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another Q.
Is 6? 5? 6?
6, I think. At least. Is that a Timelines character yet?
No, I don't think so.
And the religious musical score.
Yeah,
right there.
I picked up on that.
Yeah.
It's clutch.
Little monk music at the back there.
Monk music.
Oh, here we go. Picard calls America.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
What does this need for costumes?
Oh, it's an actual cross.
Yeah.
I've seen that in GIF form. Flim flam.
Flim flam.
Flim flam. That's how the musical starts.
Is this the episode we get Marianne as well at the end?
No, that's the Returns Human.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's it. Yeah.
What's that? What's the name of that episode?
Suddenly Human.
No.
Thank you.
No, it's not Suddenly Human. It's got Q in there.
Suddenly Human.
Is it Deja Q?
Yeah, it might be Deja Q actually.
How long has that seat been?
It is Deja Q.
Officer's seat.
Well.
Bev's like, oh, I need to get out. Don't you dare guess
this
my
could be
dream.
embarrassing.
Yeah. Just ends up with a big bowl of weed.
Oh, where's the hand gesture?
Legos.
10 years. Just 10 years.
Looks just like Will Wheaton does now.
Yep. He looks at his hands first.
He's been hitting the gym. He's been getting those gains. He's got some traps, man.
Yeah. Did they make a bigger uniform for him?
They must have.
We get it. He likes Shakespeare.
What? He does?
Leah Brahms.
No, he hasn't met her yet.
That is actually what he wanted.
That's what LeVar wanted.
Oh my god, you all look so ugly. You look much better in the EM spectrum. Oh no, this is Geordie's musical number now. I can see. Yep, still creepy.
Okay, put it away, Geordie.
Bridge to human resources.
he has sight and he's no longer a protected class for 3 seconds, and he's already doing sexual harassment.
He's still a protected class, just that he's down one.
Careful now.
Okay,
Careful now.
he's down. What? I meant bridge crew.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe they put a visor over LeVar Burton's eyes for 7 seasons. It's so terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the Undertaker.
He said that weird.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna give you a woman.
Where's Kalar?
Yeah.
We've never seen that kind of the uniform again.
She also has the spinal armor down her arms.
I think it's good for a one-off like Klingon uniform. I think
it is very Kalar-esque.
This is no.
Nope.
Grown man Wesley's like, hey, look, if you don't like her, I'll take her number.
Yeah. I'm getting this weird feeling, Mom.
Well, thanks, Gene. Thank you.
Sucks.
So, two problematic comments from George in one scene.
Oh, wow, they overdubbed his voice. I never recognised that before.
He's actually done a decent job of dubbing it.
So, like 10 years of my life not to be robbed from me, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Nope.
You just put them back in their seats.
Yeah.
They couldn't walk, right?
There's a nice little cylinder effect in that Q flash.
So what about the kid and the dying people?
Right.
No, they're fine. I mean, except for the girl who's dead.
But never mind that. It was Riker's personal journey. Never mind all these dying people.
Wait, there were like 500 plus people down there, and like we saw like what, like 6 people.
No,
still alive?
when they beamed down, they said, "Yeah, we're all that's left." I think the implication was that that Q's diversion basically killed everyone, and yeah, no one gives a shit. Well, we've learned a good moral lesson today.
Mm-hmm. I thought that Q thing didn't take any time in.
Yeah, so basically, just like 6 out of 500 plus people lived.
Q dramatic.
They don't do any of the rescue part. You know, they don't search for anybody. They just lift a few rocks and find a dead girl, and that's it. The other 6 people are all that's left.
Pretty much. Okay, welcome to Star Trek, Trek, our ongoing journey through the episodes of Star Trek and how we find them. And this week we have gone back to TNG Season 1. It is Hyde and Q. The nefarious John Delancey comes back once again to taunt Riker with the promises of eternal godhood, and never mind the planet full of dying people. We can just wave our hands over that anyway. Joined once again by Cranky, Janos, Frank, and Shy. Gentlemen, how do we... Well, actually, before I do, let's go through the credits for the episode. This has a really... Yes, Q Squared, nice. Good book. Peter David, good writer. Not all the books, but some of them. So, here's a fun fact for this episode. This episode was written by C.J. Holland. C.J. Holland doesn't actually exist, because C.J. Holland is actually Maurice Hurley, who wrote this episode. However...
C.J. Holland WRG.
Yeah, it's TP Games. Yeah, no, well, apparently Gene Roddenberry rewrote most of this episode so much that Maurice Hurley just said, just take my name off it, and put C.J. Holland on there instead. So we've got a little bit of Gene. He's back. But another fun fact about Maurice Hurley, which I really appreciate, actually. He also wrote the episode Best of Both Worlds. That's wrong. He invented Q Who, which is the episode we first meet the Borg. So he invented the Borg, and he was also the voice of the Borg in that first episode as well. So yeah.
That's very cool.
How did we find this episode? We started with some sort of reasonable pre-ratings. Like we're all in the sixes. Do we think this pays off? Let's start with you, Shy. How did you find this episode after? When was the last time you watched this previous to this?
I mean, it's been a few years. I used to just constantly have Star Trek running in a loop when it was on Netflix. I've only recently reacquired a Paramount Plus subscription, so now I've just started having it playing in the background again. So it's been a few years since I've seen this episode. It's aged better than I thought it did. I'm not going to do my rating now, but it's definitely higher than a 6. You know, Delancey's still finding his brand of scene chewing with his Q performance here. It's a little broad in the beginning. It actually refines as the episode goes along. So I'm wondering if they shot it sequentially.
Sequentially.
Gets it. Thank you. Words hard. But yeah, I like a lot about what's going on here on the screen. Sorry, I just got a battery warning on my computer. Yeah, everyone's good. I always like stern Picard. Laughing is a little. Did you lose me? Did I lose you guys?
No, you're there.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Riker's fake laughing. I feel like I love Jonathan Frakes, but at times there are limits to his acting ability. And
I think that's laughing up there with the Bashir screaming in "Move Along Home." I think that's
yeah. You know, there could be very likable scream people who there's just something that they can't do. Like I just watched a movie with Steve McQueen and he was fake laughing and it was just not. It was not good either, and Steve McQueen is of course a film legend. But yeah, overall it's a good morality tale. It's done simply. We get to Q rolls out. What did you count? 6, how many 7 outfits?
Oh, what was it? 6 outfits, I think.
Yeah,
we got to 6 with the religious monk outfit.
I thought that was 7.
And they even Picard even comments on it, like, "What's with the costumes, Q?"
Yeah,
pretty meta.
It's great. It's So
even has
so I like it.
Two varieties of Starfleet uniform, because he has the Starfleet Admiral uniform and then has the Commander's normal uniform as well. So that's.
I wonder if it's 3, because when he was in with Picard, he was in the Marshal of Q.
He was in the Marshal
of France. Yeah.
Which is wild. Like, costuming must just be like, right, we're here for another fitting. Mr. Delancey is like, okay, here we go. I'm here all day. I'm ready for this.
Do you think Data was saying that it would be aesthetically unpleasing to Picard because they were grotesque monster creatures, or because they were in French uniforms?
Good question.
Anyway.
I don't know, because Picard never saw the monsters, because when he beamed back down... Oh, no, he did. No, because that's when they all got stabbed. I don't know.
That was after, though. Nah.
He never commented on it. Janos, what are your opening thoughts after that?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the episode. It was deliciously and delightfully campy. Then you got a nice, 10-minute scene on the bridge where he goes around everyone and offers them the thing that they want the most, except of course Beverly. Beverly wants nothing. Neither does Tasha.
She awkwardly walks out and says like, no, don't read my mind, you won't like it. No one here, everyone here's going to be embarrassed. A lot of whips.
Yeah. A couple of weird problematic comments from Geordi all in one scene. A little strange. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was, season 1 TNG still finding its way, and so is, John Delancey in his second appearance as Q. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Nothing really bad that stands out to me. So it was fun. I liked it.
I'm overtired saying, Memory Alpha says that there are a mismatch of French and British uniforms with Spanish hats. So there's no real specific thing that it can point to there. Cranky, what do you think of these?
Yeah. I mean, same sort of things. Great little episode, loads of fun. As season 1 TNG goes, that's probably up there as one of the better episodes. There's, I mean, okay, the makeup and the costuming's a little bit, and the set as well. Set dressing was a little bit lackluster, but season 1 TNG, Hugh's great. He just brings that fun element. Like the childish.
Yeah, it's like I was saying in the watch along, like Delancey in this, like I don't ever feel like, oh, this is too much with him. He's got this weird way of projecting that level of camp and, like you said, like we said, the watch along, moustache twirling, but it doesn't ever feel like he's just like, oh no, this guy's going too far with it. Like you see in, I don't know, if you watch any of the CW stuff, like the old Flash and Arrow stuff, when they have like, you know, Arcade or any of the proper like Mr. Mixes, whatever his name is, and they come on, they're just like, I am here, I am the quirky villain, oh, look at me. And it's like, you never get that from Q because he has that little serious edge to him that kind of goes through. It's very, you know, John Delancey, is, you can probably speak to it better than I can, Shy, like, is like a master of his craft. Like, he is...
Well, because he adds the age into it, right? He adds in that it's this ancient being. And he's playful and funny, but at times he's very grave. And you need that groundedness.
It's not just the fact that he's a moustache twirling villain. He is an all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipotent, godlike being. Essentially, you know he can follow through with anything that he says he's going to do.
Frank.
It was Mr. Mixelplix. That's how I remember it.
Overtime saying mix, yes, spit leg.
Yes.
I assume that's right.
That was like from the Super Friends, it was Mixelplex, and then in the CW shows, it was like Mixelpitalix or something like that.
For season 1 Trek, all season 1 Trek is cursed. Well, almost all season 1 Trek.
You take Voyager's
for
name out
early, for early TNG, you know, obviously we don't have our footing. It's a miracle the show even got picked up sometimes when you watch it. This was the John Delancey show. This was John Delancey eating every bit of the scenery he was in, like an audition tape, you know, for please put me in something on Broadway. But if you're sitting there watching it back in 1987 when it aired in 88, you think it's really funny because it's something different than what's normally on TV, because your protagonists suddenly have no power. It's not a journey of where they're going next. They're stuck somewhere. They're stuck against weird things from our past.
That's a DS9 then.
Yes, it's a stationary show, but you're learning about the crew individually. It's kind of about Riker, and unfortunately about Geordi. He's a little problematic. HR is going to be getting some calls about women and him later in the future. You know, it is what it is. I remember watching this for the first time when it was first on in the late 80s and thinking, wow, this Q guy has appeared twice already in 9 episodes, and he keeps talking about humanity and humanity's part in the galaxy and their ultimate future. This is going to lead to something. And you wait 7 years for the finale where you're like, oh, we're finally going to learn. And he just, nope, sorry, you don't get to learn. And it's just one big tease. It's a 7-year-long tease, and it starts with this, and it's just, you know. Yeah,
but it doesn't even end after 7 years, because then obviously it continues into Picard and possibly further.
Okay, I mean, I feel like if they hadn't have done Picard season 2 and we just left on All Good Things, would you have felt a bit better about it there? Because that was kind of a good little sort of wrap up to the Q journey with, well, yeah, the trial never ends, but yeah.
Been fine with it. It was cool. It was cool to see him back, but I would have been fine with it ending there. And he never popped up in any the 4 movies, so I thought they for sure would have brought him in the movies at some point. But
yeah, it was very defining for a lot of TNG's run is Q. Like, he is very much his and Picard's relationship with, like, because that's the one thing about this episode is, like, I remembered it slightly differently. I remember it being like the Riker, giving him godhood to be more of a test. That's what I thought it was at the end. He was going to go, it was but a test. Humanity's passed another one, but he gets like whizzed back up to the Q continuum and like Rita Repulsa in the Power Rangers or something, like, or Team Rocket blasting their way into sky again. He gets zapped up. But I remember it being much more of a test, which I think is kind of the implied meaning of the episode, that he can surpass the desires to keep being human, but maybe not. The one thing that got me about this episode was this was, I think it was Shah, you mentioned, I was like, oh yes, we get it, you like Shakespeare. There's a lot of references to Shakespeare in this episode, but it kind of worked. And I especially, it's probably going to go in my best moment, but it's like, Picard and Q in the ready room, and he's kind of battle of odds with him with very it's a Shakespeare off, as he's quoting Hamlet, he's quoting Othello, and they're all going back and forth with the various, like, all the world's a stage, all the galaxies a stage, and I thought that was quite cool. But yeah, it kind of got a little overdone, and it was a little bit more of a metaphor, and I wouldn't be surprised if our writers, if Maurice Hurley was a bit of a Shakespeare buff, knowing that Picard, I can't remember if, like, previous in TNG, was Picard known to have been sort of Shakespeare orientated? Was he Shakespeare coded?
Maybe was that book always in his ready room? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I know this is like one of the first instances. Like, oh, you're British, you must love Shakespeare. Well, you were in a Shakespearean play. We're going to play up to that. Why wouldn't you?
I remember in his autobiography, reading his autobiography, he mentioned how the producers wanted to bring that in because they knew that was a big part of Patrick Stewart, and how he's obviously so good at it and how he made his career. I don't remember that could be the first instance of Shakespeare brought into TNG.
This is the point of the production where he was still living out of a suitcase he had not even opened or unpacked, because he was convinced this was crap and he's going to go right back to Shakespeare. Yeah. He's like, hey, look, I've got an audition next week. Can y'all help me read for it? Yeah. And they said, we'll write that into an episode. That's all it was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, he's looking for his next job already.
Yeah. It's just the first 50 soliloquies. That's all I'll need. Nothing more. Okay, I think it's time we went on to...
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance.
No.
Just upset.
Oh no. Best and worst moments, please. Shai, do you want to kick us off? What are your best and worst moments of this episode?
I mean, I think the worst moment is Riker's fake laughing down on the alien green planet. For best moment, I do love me some indignant Picard. I also like when he sort of dismisses Riker's apology at the end, like, quite right, so you should feel like an idiot. But I'm going to throw it to a very little moment right at the beginning. It's a thing I love in Star Trek and in all sci-fi. It's the easiest thing in the world, but directors forget it all the time. If you want some excitement to be happening on a ship, just have people running up and down the hallways carrying things. It's so simple. Just like in Wrath of Khan, they're pulling up grates to get the torpedo tubes filled. They don't need to do that for a torpedo tube, but it looks great on the screen. Just have people being busy. It's simple ship action. It looks great. So I like that little touch at the top of the show.
Nice. Genos, best and worst.
Ooh, me.
You. Mixing up. I'm
best
throwing all over the place.
Best moment is the intermittent costume changes from John Delancey's Q 6 or 7 times. I love every single one of them, even the Starfleet Admiral uniform that we may or may not see ever again. I don't remember if that particular uniform ever comes back.
With the Christmas tinsel running around the edge.
Yeah, and around the Christmas neck too.
Yeah.
Worst moment, and I'm surprised no one really mentioned this at all, is the missing Deanna Troi, because I'm interested to know what she would have done.
It's kind of the prime episode for her, really, isn't it? Like, she's the best person to talk to Will about how he's feeling and like how to go through things, and like the sheer hubris of his actions. You're kind of right on that.
yeah, I would have liked to see how she would have fit into the episode. I don't know why she was gone. Did Memory Alpha say anything other than
no, it didn't
that
actually. I just said she was not in this episode.
She wasn't there.
Yeah, I'll have another look, but I didn't spot anything.
Trying to save one actor's episode check and residuals or something.
They do that all the time. They do that all the time in like old broadcast shows. They have episodes that don't have whole swaths of characters just to avoid paying them.
Yeah. And then she was mentioned during the log, like, oh, we dropped her off on space station Mazda G6.
The only thing
Mazda G6.
The only thing Memory Alpha says, Deanna Troi does not appear in this episode. Her first non-appearance, the revised final draft screenplay submitted only 3 days prior to filming featured Deanna Troi, which suggested that Marina Sirtis' sudden unavailability was the reason for her non-appearance. So sounds like she was supposed to be in the episode, but something happened with her and she couldn't make it. So
she had to wash her hair.
Yeah,
she had a Twix commercial.
That's probably it. Yeah. So that's mine.
Important. I can make it in Britain, I'm sure. You did both best and worst, didn't you?
I did.
You did. Frank.
I'm gonna steal but make different Genos's.
Which one?
Not just the uniform changes. I'm gonna give the best star, gold star of the day, to both the costume and production design department for this episode, because all of the costumes were just spot on. Delancey, of course, nailed it out of the park. But the little things of the sets that we saw, the very little sets, not the planet with the green screen, but the impacted area with the medical crisis, and it has no roof on the build, so we get the cool above POV shot that you never see. Of course, they probably repurposed that set 9 times. It was probably in a motion picture, original series movie. But it just, for the very limited amount of time that we were not on the green gaseous atmospheric planet, it looked nice. And it's also kind of nostalgic to see the old original Enterprise D bridge with the crappy wood paneling things on the side and just little areas that you're like, oh yeah, God, it did look like that.
Crappy? How dare you?
Dated. It's like you see a station wagon from 1988 driving around with the wood paneling on the sides. It's just like dated. And
Admiral Mark Jameson would like a word.
Well, I kept thinking of his uniform when we said we never see this Admiral uniform again. I'm like, oh, well, let me just pull up Google images of Jameson and all the different TNG admirals. There's a lot of one-off Admiral costumes. It took them to like season 3 before they hit it.
I wonder if each admiral is allowed to like design their own uniform or something.
Oh man, what a flex!
I wondered it'd be like a bishop or a pope or something in religion that they're like, yeah, I get to change my coat of arms a little bit or something to be a little unique.
The admiral's flair.
Ooh.
Worst. I mean, I'm sorry if I steal it from you, Cranky, but sexual harassment, Geordi. I mean, we're just learning the character, and he takes off his visor, and all the kids are like, "Oh my God, it's Reading Rainbow Man!" And then the first thing he does with Vision, is he looks at the one female in the room. He's like, "Hey, baby."
His new eyeballs bulge out in his
eyes.
Yes. He goes, oh God.
They needed animators to do the Looney Tunes style. It's like, oh, come on.
Geordie has a type. Female. Cranky, how about you? Best and worst moments? You are muted. Oh, you are silent. You are suddenly silent.
Oh no.
Oh no. Someone
quick
ADR him. Can't.
So nope, I think this is really good.
Yeah. Oh, and he's gone. Hang on. Cranky will
My worst moment is when we lost Cranky.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Ah, there you are.
I'm back. How weird. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, since I went last again, so everyone stole all the good and bad points about the episode again.
I tried to rotate it properly, I failed immensely.
Professionalism.
So nobody took my best point. My best moment was Worf. Worf is fantastic in this episode. The way he leaps across the bridge from the security.
There's a lot of good moments in this.
When he's attacking those aliens or running after the aliens and dodging around the rock. And, that is just
drop
beautiful.
all weapons.
Yes. Where did you come from, Worf? I didn't even see you over that small ridge.
He's at the third ridge already.
Yeah.
So that was definitely my best moment in that. Worst, I was going to say, is set and costume, but not because obviously Delancey Q was fantastic. The whole changing of the costumes was amazing. But the generic aliens, the generic let's take 8 costumes out of the costume department, put some beards and a weird nose on these people, and that's an alien, and then green planet.
Yeah, very TOS.
That's probably my worst moment in this episode.
I've convinced myself they were filming the movie Glory on the next soundstage because it was roughly the same year when they came out. They're like, "Hey, can we borrow some of your extras' uniforms?"
Yeah, it's literally something like that that's happened, isn't it? It's like, well, we've got 8 people. We need to put costumes that are all the same. What have we got? That's my best and worst.
Like the Doctor Who, tinfoil and bubble wrap era kind of. Oh, we need to make an EV suit. What have we got to hand? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna do. What's my worst moment? Okay, I think my worst moment is the needless stabbing Worf in the dick. Because they didn't.
Both of them.
Which dick did they stab him in though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the
it went through both.
You say Worf had some good moments. I think Worf had some very bad moments that I'm kind of ashamed that Stars isn't here. Because he had the this is sex. I'm like, oh my god, could Gene Roddenberry just step out the room for 2 seconds, please, and just stop self-inserting his own fantasies into every fucking episode? That would be really.
I want
good.
that line to be a trigger.
Yeah,
this
I know.
Yeah, that should be a sub trigger. Yeah,
I need to have a little sort out of the sub trigger. So yeah, I'll try and put that one in there. Is this your idea of sex, Worf? No idea. So yeah, and I think them sort of doing the very sort of ham-fisted, but these alien people can't be overcome by a Klingon warrior, and then he gets stabbed and Wesley just runs in. Oh no, my favourite person, Worf, who I've had no affiliation to before. I'm just going to run over to his corpse and just kind of go like, no buddy, you were teaching me Mokbara, how could you? And then get stabbed as well, and does the shoe thing. So yeah, that was probably my worst moments. Is this could have been blocked and thought about a little bit more, but I appreciate you probably had one more day of shooting before you had to go and work on the next episode, so fine. Best moment is, what a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express, an admiral in action, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god. And I think we've ragged on the Shakespeare link to it enough, but I do like that very specific part from Hamlet was referenced into Riker's conundrum, and I do think the whole conundrum itself was very, very good, but I'll talk more about that when we go on to our...
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's much too low a rating.
I'm just not accustomed to seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
And surprisingly, I'm actually not going to give this an unsatisfactory rating, but we need to come up with a rating criteria first. We've had a couple of ideas, but I don't know if you guys have got any suggestions through. We've had vicious animal things. We've had leaping Worfs. We've had how many Q costume changes.
How many stabs in the dick?
I think... Worf dick stab. But it's like...
Worf dick stabs.
The thing is, now that we know, was it just one? They just stabbed him in one.
Oh, that's true.
The Klingon, he's got a
left
backup.
or the right?
Yeah, he's got the... You never know.
Okay, how about Worf left dick stabs?
Worf's a leaping. Yeah.
I think we found it. Okay, gentlemen, how many Worf left dick stabs out of 10? I'm going to go first. I'm going to go uncharacteristically. Too right, it's my show. I'm gonna surprise myself because I remember this worse than it was. I think I rated, you guys talked me up to a 6. I'm gonna go for a 7.5. I thoroughly enjoyed myself with this episode. I wouldn't say it's absolutely perfect because it still has the trappings of early TNG. Johnny's in the costume department, some a few statements which haven't aged well over the test of time, and a morality play which could have been played a little bit better. But the overall, the idea of what is man, what defines you as man, and like how they treat it with Riker, not Picard, because I think the original intention was they were going to do it with Picard as the character, but no, they ended up doing it with Riker, which I think was the better choice. And testing him with his crew and his devotion to his crew, even though they'd barely known him, they'd known him of like 8 weeks at that point. Just have this sort of crisis of faith and crisis of humanity, and another example of humanity's ability to reason and have, hey, we've got a doggy, reason to be able to work out where they fit in the universe and what is right. Even like Wesley saying it, like, oh no, I've lost 10 years here, and Geordie's saying no, not like this to his blindness. So I was a lot more impressed with this episode than I thought. So it's up there for me. So 7.5. Worf left dick stabs for me. Cranky, how about you?
Well, my pre-rating was 6 on this, and I also am going to raise my rating after watching, especially based on the fact that this is season 1, and it is such a good, fun episode. Like you say, it has still got the trappings of season 1, but it's definitely one of the best episodes of that season, and mainly John Delancey makes that happen. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for, let's go 7.34.
What?
Oh, we're getting granular here. This is like some refined.
I don't knock down the door.
7.34. What? Sorry.
Idle knock down the door by not doing a full number.
Stabs out of 10.
Very nice. Go on, Genos. You're eager to jump in there with your. You're eager to leap over the shell of the bridge to deliver your Klingon insults here.
Yes. I also enjoyed it more than I thought, and I thought I would enjoy it quite a bit. I think I was a 6.5 or something. I'm going to go to 7 3/4. Worf left dick stabs.
7.75. Okay, yeah, right.
Out of 10. Lots of fun. Bring John Delancey back at least once a season if possible. 2 in 1 season is pretty solid. Does he come back again season 1 or the next time?
I don't think we see him till Q, which is season 2.
Yeah, because Guinan's in that one, and she's season 2 at least. So yeah, 7 3/4.
So, go Frank.
My pre-rating was a, 5. And, I just...
I the fact that we can't actually see the cards.
Oh, great, Frank Dini. What do you see?
I've done my thinking. And gentlemen,
this is going to play so well for the podcast.
I give.
Frank is now holding up cards.
Podcast.
Future Genos is going to be so confused.
The episode.
Not
Q.
Yeah.
Hide and Q.
Got it.
Of season 1. Episode
11.
Season 8.
9.
Wow.
I give this episode 6.5 stabbings.
Well done.
Out of 10.
This is a talent that I didn't know that you had, and I don't think we deserve it.
Purely only.
We don't deserve it.
Please, we don't deserve it, please.
It will never be seen again. I'm sorry. I am immediately retiring this bit.
6.5. Okay, finish us off, Shy.
All right, I started at a 6. At the beginning of this review, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to bump up to a 7." But as we were talking about it, I was thinking, there's nothing really wrong with this episode. It's pretty entertaining start to finish. There's some great little like camera work. I love the shot of Picard in the old school bridge just alone there. You get some really good bridge porn. You get to really see how much they've changed this show design from TOS. They really went for it with the new bridge. It's beautiful to look at. So I'm going to go up to an 8 because that's 8 Worf left dick stabs. It's his left, our right.
Yeah, stage stage right. Sorry.
Yeah. Worf left. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable episode. It sets up the rest of the series. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Stewart's really like easing into his role here. He's starting to have fun. It's nice.
Well, that brings this episode's final score to a 7.42, or for those of us that can't handle that many decimal places, 7.4. I just want to see what the full one would be. 7.418 would be the full one, or if you're rounding down, just a pure 7. But 7.4. Worf left dick stabs out of 10. Yeah, 7.41843211576. I'm sure that's in there somewhere. I am pleasantly surprised how better this episode, how good this episode actually was, because I was expecting a lot less for TNG. For TNG Season 1, we finally found the good episode. We rated it up there with the Infinite Vulcan, with Memento Mori, the Serene Squall. It's up there with some of the good Strange New Worlds episodes, which is it's nice to actually see. Like you say, Shy, there's something redeemable about some of the Season 1 TNG episodes. And as Frank signs away all his money through the last card tricks of the night, we will be back. If you're watching live on stream, adieu. And if you're on the YouTubes, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for our next episode. Stay tuned on the channel. We'll be doing all sorts of fun things, playing games and all that stuff. Like and subscribe. But most importantly, thank you all you guys for coming and doing some more Trek Treks with us. It's been great fun to have our wonderful guests, Cranky and Janos, and for the rest of you, thank you very much. We're eagerly awaiting to hear if Shy has been signed up for the role of Khan in the Texas version of Khan the Musical. But
no, sadly, local actors only.
Local actors
only. You're only not local because you don't live there yet.
That's true.
That's right.
If only you could stay with. And if only you could stay with someone that lived in the Texas local region. Wow. Surely we don't know any one or two people that live there. But we will be back,
stay
please.
On my couch.
Yes. But please join us next time. We will see you later. Live long and prosper. And ta-ra.
What about you, Hooker?
Ta-ra.
Well, I was thinking about Tahiti. What'd you have in mind?
I was thinking about dinner at my place about 8 o'clock. Why don't you make it 7? You can help me find a place to kill some new plants.
Hey, wait a minute. How do I know you can cook?
Hooker, trust me.
Trust me. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, okay.